And a very good afternoon and welcome to San Juan and the Medalla 10-ball Puerto Rican Open. Jim White's bringing you the action. It's a ladies matchup here. Angeline TICOALU, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Jakarta, the beautiful city of Jakarta in Indonesia. She's on the right, and on the left, young Skyler HESS from the USA. And Skyler has won the leg. Our referee, John Lehman, he'll be overseeing proceedings. A race to 4, best 2 out of 3 sets. If it goes 1-1, well, you get the shootout. Skyler with a dry break to initiate proceedings here. Beautiful venue, the Salon Ballroom in the stunning city of San Juan. The host city and host venue for the Puerto Rican Open. And it has welcomed 64 ladies, 192 players from 44 countries have made their way here to contest this year's event. This is the last stop on the Predator Pro Billiard Series. I'm very happy and honored to welcome a good buddy of mine, and this is our first stint as commentators together, Mr. Tony Robles. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to do commentary with a legend like yourself, so I'm really excited about doing this.
Well, that and about $3 gets me a coffee here. And Tony, are you familiar with either of these two ladies?
One of them, I believe, is from the Jersey area. The one sitting down, the younger girl. She used to play with the son of a buddy of mine, Mark Joseph. His name is Joshua Joseph, who's a junior player from New Jersey as well. Up-and-coming player. I got to play with her a little bit in Vegas in March, and she's coming into her own. She's learning all the time. She's has very hard work ethic, great work ethic, and is very focused, very disciplined.
Well, we're gonna see very quickly what she's like with a short cue. Well, she's just returned the favor. Right back at you, Angeline. Good contact on the 2 and a pretty friendly roll.
See, now when I kick a shot like that, Jim, I like kicking it a little on the soft side, just so that maybe if it ends up in the bottom rail near the 4, whatever, but more importantly, keep it separated from the ball that goes next, which is a 3, just because it's up table. So that makes it a little more difficult for the incoming player, if they get ball in hand or if they end up a shot to end up playing position. Also, if you have another ball, like let's say the 4 ball, perfect example. If you kick it hard and you send it up there as well with the 2, now you're giving them an easier run out.
Makes sense, Tony. Good advice.
Now, I'm not sure if she can. Oh, she's going to go for the combination, I would imagine here. Hit a little hard.
Angeline ranked 21 on the tour. Young Skyler, she's at 133, but those numbers will be dropping as she gains experience.
Well, this is good for her. I'm happy to see her on the TV table because it'll give her a chance to build that much needed experience when you're younger. Get used to playing under the lights. In the beginning, I remember the first time I played on it, I could not believe how ridiculously nervous I was the first time I played on a TV table. It was nerve-wracking. After a while, you just get used to it. It's like any other match. And for some players, it motivates them even more, Jim. What do you think about that? They
Well,
play a TV match.
I was the same as you when I first saw the TV lights and the cameras playing snooker. It was a bit intimidating, but you do tend to start embracing it as you get a little bit more experience. You start welcoming the pressure, and it helps you to heighten your focus and your concentration. I mean, you don't try and hide the fact you're nervous. You just embrace it.
And that's a key word, embracing it.
Now this is the first real chance to secure this opening rack. That's falling to Angeline.
I had the pleasure of having dinner with Angeline, Aloysius girlfriends, and Sharik Sayed all together right after Aloysius won the last tournament. And we had a great time. She's a sweetheart, loves the game. Again, is also very into it, very disciplined. But nowadays, Jim, most of these players, especially the Taiwanese, the Philippines, the Europeans, they've changed the game. The discipline that they have is at a level that I'm not even sure if very few Americans have had the type of discipline that these countries now have.
She sure cued that one nice with the bridge. She hopes she sees a few more 10 balls like this to close out racks. Perfect onto the side. And Angeline TICOALU opens her account. Ladies event here on day 2. This is the third match that I've done on day 2, Tony, and I mean, I've had the pleasure of already seeing 3 ladies matches, and I can't tell you how impressed I am with the way they play.
Oh yeah, Tim and I just did a match the previous round on table 2 with Jasmine Ocean and Cheska Centeno, which Cheska won because Jasmine missed 2 of the 4 spot shots and Cheska missed 1.
Went to a shootout?
Went to a shootout, yeah. It was definitely a drama-filled match.
I've done 6 matches. I haven't seen a shootout yet.
Oh.
And I've been told that usually about half the time you're going to run into a shootout. I should correct myself. I've seen one. I just haven't commentated on one
right.
yet.
They're very exciting. They're very exciting.
Pressure packed. Rack number 2. Angeline winding it up for the break.
First time I've seen her break, and I'm already impressed with how hard she broke those. She broke them hard.
Yeah, no friends at the table, so Skyler will be back out. Yeah, there was a young girl playing Kelly Fisher on this main table yesterday. Savannah Easton, 12 years old.
12 years old.
I was still playing with a paddle ball when I was 12.
Isn't it amazing though? Because we were having this conversation yesterday because the amount of information that's available on YouTube nowadays compared to the amount of information they had when I was growing up in the sport, it was almost non-existent. That's why they're becoming champions at a much younger age.
Teaches a lot of great qualities too. Self-discipline. I already talked about concentration and focus.
I can't tell if that 2-ball goes in there, Jim. It looks like it does, but if it doesn't, she's definitely going to want to hit it thin and come around, maybe by the 7 in the side. You want to make sure you avoid the side, though.
That would be the side you're talking about, Tony?
Mm-hmm. See, I was thinking that she was trying to go in between the side and the 7, maybe behind the 3-ball on the top rail. But I think she either spun it too much or hit it too full. Fortunately, she overhit that one. Wonder if she's thinking of the 8-ball billiard or a possible safety shot where she hits it very thin and send the cue ball back down table. Yeah, she definitely went for the 8-ball. You see any problems here, Jim?
Well, it's still early days, and you know they're going to be fighting the nerves a little bit. But yeah, from the 4 to the 5 could be a bit of a problem.
It's definitely not afraid to let her stroke go. I think the key here for this 4-ball on this table, if you're trying to go past the 10, is to undercut it a bit. But she looks like she's going to leave it around the center of the table. Will she get there? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I'm looking at her body language and hasn't really given anything away yet, but I think it doesn't look like she can get through to the 5. She's gone back and grabbed the short cue, Tony, so it looks like going to be going airborne.
She has a couple of good things that can happen here. She cuts it in. She can go 4 rails. She can run into the 7, stop the cue ball there. The 9 would, I think, would be her only problem, her only obstacle. Might hit it on the way back. You know, I only made a shot like that once in my entire life. I went to cut a shot like that, and the cue ball went all around the table and came back and cut it in the way I originally tried to cut it. Only one time ever in 43 years of playing the game.
Well, this is a real chance now for Skyler to help dispel some of that nervous energy, she's got.
I would think she would want to draw this back past the center of the table, or can't tell if she's straight or if she has an angle. If she has an angle, she's going to go follow 2 rails, a little bit of right. Yep. Did she get too straight on the 7? That's the question. Looks like she has a slight angle. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, tough to tell from that overhead camera. She needs a little bit of angle to be able to get that cue ball off that side rail. There's not much there.
No. Some players would consider shooting it off the 8, but I think that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah, just giving up a few too many opportunities, I'm afraid.
So what do you think of Puerto Rico so far, Jim?
What's not to like? I mean, the weather's fantastic. I mean, Toronto got 10 centimeters of snow, which is about two and a half inches of snow yesterday.
Oh,
so
wow.
You don't shovel sunlight.
Yeah.
No, the food's terrific. The people are so friendly and accommodating. And I've already been talking to the powers that be about the chances of Puerto Rico seeing a few more events, Tony. And
oh, that'd be awesome.
yeah, God willing, I think we'll be back here again soon.
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have a 3-year deal for this event here. At least a 3, maybe more.
Well, it's a terrific place to visit. You don't need a purpose to come here other than just relax, enjoy yourself, soak up the sun. Beaches are beautiful, I've been told. Don't know if we'll be getting any time to see a beach or not.
Yeah.
But
watch the side pocket. Watch the side pocket. That's the thing you have to guard yourself from. Almost looks like she's playing 10-ball last pocket there for a second. But of course, she's not going to shoot this in the side. You got to shoot this in the corner.
Got to stay still on this. Put a nice clean stroke on it.
Very nice.
Yeah, she hit that one real pure. And 2-0, Angeline in front. Few unforced errors from Skyler, but you couldn't hit this 10 any better. Never looked out. And we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with the action right after a few minutes. Don't go away, folks.
Beautiful Arcos balls, Arcos II from Predator. See how hard she hits him this time, Jim. Wow, nice control. Little high, but nice control. I was talking to Mark and Tim before how tough these tables have been breaking in the last day and a half. Have you seen more or less the same thing?
I haven't seen anybody that's found the right equation yet with these tables. I mean, they're short races, so it's, you know, table time's been at a premium, and players really haven't had a lot of time to sort the issues out. But I mean, 10 ball is never broken quite like 9 ball. A little tougher, but I haven't seen anybody that has made the break look like it's a weapon, Tony.
Right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, the only one that came a little close, was successful like 3 or 4 times, was Cheska against Jasmine in the last match. At one point, she popped the cue ball dead in the center of the table, smashed him as hard as I think anyone could, really, and pocketed 3 balls on the break. I like going right in between everything, one rail. She likes 2 rails. Oh, wow, look how good she hit that. Hit a little in betweener there.
It just doesn't want to be dead straight.
Yeah.
Got a little angle. What a shot that was. Yeah, right now.
She might have to go back behind. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say she's dictating the pace. She has definitely upped her game.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a few nice rolls, too, and deservedly so.
And I think the 9 goes past the 10. But if it doesn't, the 8 is close enough to the 9 ball where she might be able to manage position towards the end of the rack. Isn't it amazing how much more speed the cue ball picks up when you overcut the ball? Because it retains more of its energy because you didn't hit it as full.
Yeah, case in point right there, just overran intended position, so a little bit more angle on the 6 than she would have ideally wanted.
I kind of like the fact that she can move the 9 towards the rail. If she doesn't want to get fancy, she could just roll it a bit. Cue ball trickles forward a bit. She can shoot the 8 in the corner. If it goes forward even more, maybe in the side. Well, drawing it back to the side pocket. That's a great shot there.
She's had that cue ball on a string.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a few friends in Jakarta. One of them manages one of the hotels there. Used to be a player in Toronto, moved back to Jakarta. But I know he's a big pool fan, and it would shock me greatly if he knew this young lady.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Who knows? Maybe he's even watching this match and listening to you, too.
Who knows, Tony? Who knows? 3-0. Angeline TICOALU in control. The opening set. Race to 4. And if we get to a tie where it's 1 set each, we get something that I personally have not had the chance to commentate on yet, a shootout, where the 10 is spotted where the 10 sits in the rack. And the players each have 2 looks at it from the side of the table. The only one I've seen, Roberto Gomez, fell to Petra Mäkinen, 4-3. Mäkinen made all 4 of his, and the very last shot that Roberto had at the 10, he missed, and Mäkinen just kept the heat on him, and finally he folded.
What was very impressive is how hard Mäkinen was hitting those spot shots.
Actually, you actually commentated that match, I think, Tony, didn't you? You mentioned that, how hard he played. Yeah, he was drilling him.
Up. You see a 110 combo there, or?
Yeah, cue ball kicked into the side pocket. You can't legislate for something like that happening.
I like shooting the 1 ball in the upper right-hand corner and just sliding the cue ball over a bit to play the 2 on the side, unless the combo obviously is on. If that's on, then yeah, that's a shot. Especially if it's straight, where you don't have to worry about any movement of the ball.
Yeah, good chance for Skyler to get a few shots. Get that back arm just loosened up a bit. Get a little bit of confidence.
And how important is that, Jim, to warm up your arm for people out there that are learning the game?
Yeah, when you've been sat in your chair, and especially in a setting like this where you know the cameras are looking at you, and you know this isn't something that she would see very often. And I mean, I really can't attest to the fact if she's ever played on camera before, where people from around the world might be tuning in and watching, but it's going to put her in good stead for a future, and you can bet that this young lady has a bright future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, she hit it hard and she hit it too thick. Again, this is one of those kick shots where you kick it, you don't want to hit it too hard. That way, if you hit either side of the ball, you at least increase the chances of ending up with separation between the cue ball and the object ball, even if you don't put them behind the ball. So yeah, I like that separation she created there. Now, Angeline is forced to possibly take a 7-10 combo if she doesn't feel comfortable going back and forth with the 6. Or playing a safe on the 7. What do you think, Jim?
I mean, the big shot here is the 6.
Mm-hmm.
She's got enough angle on this, Tony. I mean, if she could If she could thump this in and get the cue ball back down towards the 7, she could try and drop below it.
Yeah. I've seen players shoot a stop shot this and bank the 6 ball 4 rails and leave the cue ball behind the 9.
That would be the snooker shot.
Yeah.
On a snooker table, you've just described the shot
Yeah.
I'd be playing.
Saw a little movement there as she was stroking the ball. Oh, Skyler gets another opportunity. She has a kind of angle that would take her possibly right between the side and the 9 if she's not able to slow it down. See, that's why I meant like hit it past that point, right?
A little unfortunate. She's found the only ball that could cover her. She's got the short cue out. She's really going to have to elevate to get that cue ball over the 9 because she's pretty close to it.
Oh, you look, she's using the air bridge too. Not easy to do. Very tough to be accurate with when your bridge isn't stable.
Yeah, it didn't help her cause knocking the 9 in as well. Just one less ball that Angeline has to pocket. Everything else is over the pocket. She could probably turn the cue around and use the butt end to knock these in.
Had a student come up to me one time with a similar setup like this and said, "Why wouldn't you shoot the 7-10?" And I said, "Because you have ball in hand in the 7, the 8 ball's in front of the pocket, and the 10 ball's in front of the pocket." If you somehow manage to screw up the combination, I had someone ask me for a lesson one time. You ever go to the carnivals where they set up 3 balls, just 3 balls, and you have to run them in order to get a stuffed animal? You pay $5. A student of mine was so upset one time because he lost a ton of money trying to get one for his girlfriend, and he wanted me to give him a lesson to teach him how to pocket all 3 balls on the break. We'll talk about that some more after the break.
Welcome back. Angeline TICOALU secures the opening set. And she's just gone for a break right now. Skyler HESS just waiting upon her return, but you can see the venue. We've talked so much about what a beautiful venue this is. The Salon Ballroom, the Convention Center, just across from the Sheraton and the Aloft Hotels. Spectacular area too. Tony, I'm dying to hear how you were winning all those stuffed animals, or you were.
They banned me from it.
They banned you from the carnival.
No, because what happened is they had these cue sticks that were really crooked, and the chalk they had was horrible. Some of them didn't even have chalk. So I lost a couple of times, and I said, "Is it okay for me to bring my own pool stick?" Oh, of course, because I lost. So they think I can't play.
Yeah.
So I came back, and by the time I did like the fourth or fifth rack in a row, they said, "I'm sorry, you're not allowed to come back."
Yeah, you're done. We've seen enough of you, and leave that.
But my family was happy because they had these ginormous stuffed animals.
Oh, cool story. Yeah, we had. I remember those carnivals well.
Did you participate in any of them?
You know what? I was actually there were a group of us that were actually brought in by Sick Kids Hospital.
Oh.
And they gave us all $125. It was me, a basketball player, the quarterback from the football team in Calgary, and Canadian darts champion.
Oh, wow.
So they gave us all $125. Tony, I was the first one who passed my money to the rest of the guys. I was the first one barred.
And that's awesome.
And
I
they
love
brought
it.
all the kids. It was on the front page of the paper. They brought all the kids in the wheelchairs, and we won. It filled the front page of the paper with stuffed animals.
That's such an awesome story. I went to do an exhibition for Kids with Cancer Memorial Sloan Catering about 20 years ago. And right before I started the little clinic for them to teach them how to play pool, they introduced me to this beautiful 3-year-old girl with cancer. And as soon as they told me that she only had 3 months to live, I don't know what happened. I just couldn't stop crying. I couldn't even do the clinic. I had to leave. I apologize, obviously, but I just couldn't do it. It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
You know, pool is it's created a lot of fun memories for people. A lot of charitable organizations have gotten involved with CueSports globally. And back, the focus of our attention here, the Medalla Light Puerto Rico Open women's event. Already Angeline, TICOALU, first set secured, but a dry break there. We'll see if Skyler HESS can give us a little indication of what she is capable of.
Skyler's going to be participating in the Junior World Championships too. They're going to crown 3 Junior World Champions this week, which is pretty exciting for them, coming from all over the world.
Yeah, I mentioned at the outset, Tone, 44 countries involved in this event in Puerto Rico. World 8-Ball Championships are going to be the last event played. Well, that hasn't been played in a decade. 2012, last time that was played.
Yeah, Chang Young Lin is a reigning champion. How nice is it to be a reigning champion 10 years?
10 years running. I wonder if they asked him to bring the trophy back. Well, a lot of work to do to try and secure this racket, this visit. 8, 10 a possibility if she got right behind it, but also the possibility of the bank on the 8. Very sound fundamentals.
Very solid and consistent. I like it. And I agree with you with the bank on the 8. I think it's a little easier than that combination since the 10 is off the cushion a little more than the 8. I think she wanted to go a little further. Yeah, I don't know if she has a 2-railer here between the 9 or the 10. Not sure. It's hard to tell from this angle. Yeah, if she doesn't, she might have to stun follow this in between the 9 and the 10 and come back. And if she does hit this with stun follow, she's going to have to hit it with a lot of speed.
Yeah, Tony, you know something? She's just not exactly sure how to play this shot, so wisely calls for her extension. And you saw her eyes looking at the balls on the rail that she's got to avoid.
Yeah, she used a stun follow there, but probably hit it just a hair too low. Very nice shot. Would you play the carom here, Jim?
Well, you know what? I might play it in a way where I know I'm going to be banking the 8 over to the other side cushion, maybe playing it with a safety in mind as well.
Yeah. I used to practice this shot as a kid where I would hit the rail first and just barely hit the 8 thin enough to just have it run under the 10. That was a pretty aggressive shot there, but she got a good result there. Maybe she wasn't trying to make the bank. She wasn't trying to. I mean, it's still a good shot.
Yeah, she's held that cue ball behind the 10, and I think that was always going to be the game plan. And Skyler's got to hit this one.
Another shot that you should kick softly just in case you hit one side versus the other, right? Even if you hit it dead solid, at least you leave it by the cushion. Want to make sure you avoid the side pocket. Oh, she's not even, well, I guess she was trying to go above it, right, Jen? Wow.
She'll be delighted with that result. Yeah, just kind of raising her hand. A little fortunate, but she's playing considerably better than her opponent right now and is yet to drop a rack. That's the first rack in the second set. And Angeline, she's got a powerful break. We're going to see it again in rack number 2. A few more people are going to start making their way in to the conference center here as the evening progresses. It's been getting a lot of notoriety locally. We had the TV station here yesterday morning. I know it's been pumped on the radio.
I know a lot of people that want to come here, but they're working during the week. I think in the weekend this is going to be very packed.
Yeah, they're going to need to bring in a few more chairs.
And of course, we have legendary referee John Lehman racking the balls for this match. There's something going on where they're supposed to do something for charity, and one of the female players is supposed to cut off his ponytail that he's had forever. I'm going to ask him some more.
Is that
about
when he's sleeping?
Yeah. No, I think he's volunteering to do it.
Ball in hand for Skyler.
I went straight in the side. Took a little bit of a dip there. If the combination is on, I would take that. You know, Nick Varner once told me, when you shoot these combinations, don't play not to win. In other words, just make up your mind, stick to it, and shoot the combination instead of trying to leave them a safe and then you're thinking about something other than making it. Good shot there.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's the first rack win for Skyler HESS. We'll see if she can build on that. We'll get a chance to see her break. 75,000 up for grabs in the women's division here. 20,000 to the eventual winner. 64 players, Tony. 64 women taking part in this year's event.
Yeah, I've spoken to a number of the ladies, Allison, Kelly, and they're elated that Predator included the women in this venture that he just started in trying to help grow the sport. Because back in the 90s when we used to play on the Pro Tour, all tour stops in the 90s were both male and female tournaments in under one roof. So you would have one table, a male a match going on, female, male, female. So it was pretty awesome back then. And then something happened. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Then they decided to start the WPBA. That's when they started their own tour.
Well, she made 2 balls off the break, but unlucky for her, she didn't have a clear path to the 1, so she's getting the jump cue out. She's got a lot of confidence.
Love it. I absolutely love the confidence. Don't you miss those days when we were fearless on the table, Jim?
When you were young and you couldn't see anything going wrong. Well, she hit that pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine Angeline wants to play safe. Nice little touch there. Might have blocked the bottom rail, but I don't know if Skyler can see the edge of the ball. She might be able to see. Yeah, she can. Came a little short there. If you can see the edge of the 1 here, will you hit the 1 and go behind it, or will you try to kick it, Jim?
I'd probably try and just hit the edge of the 1 because cueing into the, well, she's clipped the 8. Cueing into the white where that 10 ball was, pretty tricky to try and spin it.
Yeah. And plus, you can use a 5 as a stopper for the 1, too.
Well, a couple unforced errors creeping into Angeline's game. It's down to Skyler to try and capitalize on those. She's going to have to run the balls here, though. Last rack, combination to the 10 provided victory. Here you got to go through the motions. No early finishes.
Over here, she wants to draw the ball to get on the 4. She would have to go between the 8 and 9. Otherwise, if she has a proper angle, she might be able to get away with follow. I thought she was going to stop the cue ball where the 3 was and end up with more of an angle. Oh, look at that. How good she'd hit that one. She can still cut this and get position on the 5. Go back and forth. Make sure you don't end up on top of the 9 or behind it. Very nice.
Very nicely done.
Side pocket or corner, Jim?
You know what, I'm probably rolling through and playing the 8 in the side. Came a little further than I would have.
Right. Well, people ask me that question all the time, side pocket or corner. Well, when you're hitting it with follow, it's easier to control than with the draw. Follows follow no matter what speed you hit it with. Soft, medium, hard, it's always going to roll forward. But if you have to draw it a little, and you draw it a little too much or not enough, it's always a problem. Nice little rack here. think over here you just accept a long, straight shot on the 10 ball. What do you think? Right?
I agree. Just got to stay still and deliver that cue straight through the white. Good alignment and good execution. Nicely
nice.
done. Looked a lot better there. I think Skyler's starting to feel a lot better than she did at the outset. 2-1 she leads in the second set. And we'll be back. Very warm welcome back. The Medalla Light Puerto Rico Open Women's Division. Skyler HESS, young Skyler HESS, 2-1 in front of Angeline TICOALU from Indonesia. And Skyler with a dry break this time. And Angeline chance to survey the lay of the land. She was dominant in the opening set, Tony. 4-0. She beat Skyler, yeah. But I think she's seen a little bit of a fight back from Skyler now. So we'll see if that doesn't get the alarm bells going.
And her last couple of misses, I've noticed a little bit of body movement as she's about to strike the cue ball.
Almost always a sign that you're feeling the heat. Well, you'd never know it from that picture. She looks like she's waiting at the dining table and she's just placed her order.
Yeah. So, Jim, out of all the matches that you've watched, commentary and no commentary, has anyone stood out in your mind that has impressed you so far?
It's with this format, I haven't really seen anyone catch a gear yet, Tony.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, they're short races.
Well, I don't know if you got had the chance to watch Cheska. She's really impressed me. And I already knew how good she was.
I've heard about her.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've told a few of the guys, it's been about almost 2.5 years since I've done an event live. I've done a few remotely. But, you know, being out of the game for 2.5 years and not being at a proper event, I see so many new faces.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been away for 5 years.
It's a completely new generation of players.
So
and
much
guess
talent.
what? They're monsters.
Just like so much talent, so many good young players. Yeah, somehow when you see people like Skyler and that young Savannah Easton, they call them monsters, and they're going to be monsters.
Yeah. Wonder what she's looking at here. I wonder if she's thinking, because she does have a safe behind the 7, worst case scenario. If she doesn't like.
Think she's looking at the billiard, 6 to the 7?
Could be. Could be. I think that would be a fantastic shot.
No, she's trying to get above the 6 to play it down to the corner. She didn't quite get to where I believe she was trying to get to, though.
But she might still end up shooting the shot you suggested, Jim, which is the billiard. Thing is, it's a little easier to control if the cue ball were lower, because you could just roll it in and have the proper angle to the angle of approach that she has here versus the other angle she needed changes where the 6 goes.
Just tried the billiard, missed it. Another big opportunity for Skyler. Oh, has she come far enough?
I can't tell she got there. And I was just about to say, when I shoot this shot, I always like to hit it with enough speed to make sure I come off the cushion. That way you guarantee you can at least see the 7. I'm not sure she can see this. If she can, she might have to shoot this in the corner, Jim. And how good did she hit that? Wow.
She's going to have to hit this one real well, too.
Oh, yeah. She might have to go 3 rails, possibly 4 rails to the 9. Question is, does she have the angle where she has to elevate and go in front of the 10, or does she have to go past the 10 with follow and a lot of left?
She's trying to bank this in. Yeah, it was a lot to do. It was almost impossible to get position to the 9 from that 8.
Yeah. Whether she can follow this without scratching in the corner. If she can, then she's definitely going to come off the bottom rail. If she can, she's going to have to draw it across the table. Not low enough, not enough spin, I think. But she does have a perfect angle to go 4 rails underneath the 10 if she'd like. The other possibility is come rail first, hit it with enough speed so that if the 9 hits a corner, it might go back towards that rail and send the cue ball down table. What would you do, Jim?
I think I'd play the shot you suggested, thin hit. She cut that way. She was trying to hit it thin. She's got it way too thick. She must have been trying to bank that, I think. But I would have played the thin hit, 4 rails, tried to get the cue ball behind the 10. And this to take a 3-1 lead. No danger at all. Skyler has 3-1 in front of Angeline TICOALU. And I'm looking good value to see my first shootout.
Yeah, I'm excited for you if it happens.
I might have to put a muzzle on me, Tony.
Hopefully one of many to come.
First of many. Men's action right beside us. No idea what the score is, Tony, but it's a high-powered match, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Between Sanjin and Conrad, absolutely. Yeah, I think that match is going to be decided more on the break than anything. Whoever's more successful on the break. All right, Skyler breaking on the hill.
Tony, have you got any up-and-coming students that you see progressing to these ranks?
I have a young kid, that 16-year-old kid. I don't know if you met him. His name is Payne McBride. I'm going to start teaching him. He's here.
He's here.
So yeah, so I'm going to go and try if I'm not doing commentary. I'm gonna go and try watch some of his matches in the Junior World Championship. So
nice.
I'm excited for him. And every once in a while, believe it or not, they still call me from New York to do a gig here and there.
I know you've been doing a lot of exhibition work while you've been here too, representing Predator.
Yeah, Predator's been very, very good to me. Been with them for about 25 years.
Wow. Just a containing shot. You'd expect Skyler to hit this. And if she catches it the way she wants to, could turn the tables on Angeline.
Did she just call something? Did she just call a pocket? I can't look like she pointed the cue.
Well,
oh, she did.
She's jumping.
Oh, wow. She jumped over both the 1 and the 7.
Well, that was a pocket she called, just hoping to get the 1 there, not the cue ball.
I like going past the 8 ball in here, so that way you get the proper angle on the 2 for the 3. That's a good shot. Once she gets on the 3 ball, I don't like to flirt with that 8 ball. I like to come before the side pocket. What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, catch the cushion before the side. Leave yourself a little longer, but keep the 8 ball in that side pocket out of the equation.
Overhit it and overcut it.
Yeah, she wasn't missing shots like that earlier in the match.
I was about to say, what a turnaround, right?
No, you can only put that down to the fact that Skyler has started to put a little bit of pressure on her, started to knock some balls in, and let her know she was in a match.
Ooh.
That's a bit unlucky. Just cut that bump enough to take the cue ball behind the 6, so now she is kicking at this.
Definitely didn't leave Angeline with an easy shot here. She's going to have to earn it here, Jim. She's going to leave it by the bottom rail near the 10 ball, and the cue ball behind the 8 ball. That way, if by some chance she gets that ball in hand, she might consider that 4-10 combo. It's a good shot. But if Skyler jumps this ball, it might not be a bad idea to call the 10 just in case. Did she call the 10, Jim? Because I would have called the 10 there for sure. An overcut.
And she's left a chance again. Just starting to miss a few shots now, and these mistakes weren't there in the early going. 4 passes the 9 into the side.
Yeah, it looks like it does. Got a little straight on there. Little straight on the 7.
Yeah, she's eyeing up that shot clock. 30 seconds. Down to 15 now.
You know, it might not be a bad shot, Jim, if she can keep the cue ball off the rail, shoot a stop shot, and maybe bank the 9 ball cross side to come down for the 10, leave the 9 ball there just in case it doesn't go. Unless the 9 goes in the side, can you tell if the 9 goes in the side from here?
Yeah, difficult to tell from our camera perspective.
Maybe that's why she left the cue ball there, because maybe it does go. She might even be able to play it in the corner. Yeah, it looks like it goes. See, but when they put it in this angle, it looks like it doesn't go, right? Better angle there. I think I like shooting this in the corner, Jim. That way, even if I undercut it a bit, it might still go in. Nope.
She never really got where she needed to get to on the 10 anyway. Well, that would have been set ball. Would have brought us to a shootout if she'd have got that and finished on the 10. Now she's turned it over to Angeline. She's still got a little work to do too, Tony.
Yeah. Still has to hit this pretty good. She's definitely trying to come off the first diamond. Instead, she came off the second diamond. Need to stay completely still. Oh, wow.
We are going to see our first shootout that I am commentating.
Congratulations, Jim.
Congratulations. It was only going to be a matter of time. That's a 4-1 win for Skyler HESS to tie it up 1 set apiece. So I get to see my first shootout. And we will be back.
You won the lag. You wish to shoot first or second? First? Yep.
Well, Tony, you better You better let me and the folks at home know exactly what the rules of this shootout are.
Yeah, so each player gets 4 shots, alternating sides, 2 shots from each side. And the player with the highest score after 4 shots wins. But Jim, if there's a tie after 4 shots, we go into a sudden death shootout. Sudden death shootout, you go 1 diamond above, you have a small little box there, and then we go into sudden death. Sudden death, the first player, not the first player to miss loses. Whoever decides to go first, if they make it and the second player misses any sudden death, then it's a loss, and vice versa.
Okay, so check your nerve at the door.
And John always makes it a point to set up the 10 ball on the spot like the planet Saturn. Make sure that none of the numbers are showing, so that way the players won't have any guide aiming the ball or anything like that. So they always set it up the same exact way, and the 10 is placed at the spot where it is racked.
Now the first one, a missed attempt from Skyler. Now Angeline can really put her under pressure if she knocks this one in. There's 4 innings to be played here, 2 from either side.
And I think another important aspect of this shootout here on the TV table, Jim, is when you're out there playing a match, there is no time limit. Over here, they still have the shot clock for the shootout.
Wow, that
Very
puts
nice.
Skyler under some pressure. Nicely struck. A very clean hit from Angeline.
Now it's 0-1 after the first inning.
And with both of them being right-handed, I feel that this side just marginally easier.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel more comfortable shooting it from that side. Very nice.
That was important.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, she needed that one.
Look at that. Look at the determination, Jim. Oh, we have a tight ball game.
So after 2 innings, we're all square.
After 2 innings, we were all tied at 1 apiece.
Now Skyler with a chance to put the heat on Angeline big time if she knocks this in. Yeah, that side, not her best. Now the hammer turns, and it's Angeline's turn to tighten up the screws.
You know, every time I shoot the spot shot from that side, Jim, I never shoot it from the rail. I actually shoot it away from the rail, so it feels like a normal shot.
Just comfort.
Yeah. Still a tie ball game. And you know, in a way, this last shot right here is very similar to sudden death. This is sudden death. If any one of them misses one and the other one makes it, it's over.
Now it is. This last shot. Basically, whoever makes it, the other's forced to reply in kind. A miss, the other makes it, they win. So the pressure paramount right now.
Wow. Wow. Talk about putting the pressure on your opponent.
Definitely stronger from that side.
Yeah.
And Angeline hasn't made one since her opener, and that was dead center of the pocket. Split the uprights.
So Angeline must make this one in order to force a shootout. If not, Skyler wins the match. And
Yeah,
it's over.
never threatened the pocket. What a comeback from Skyler HESS. Lost the opener 4-0, the opening set, won the second one 4-1, and wins the shootout. Some kind of performance from the Ice Princess, and what a bright future she has, Tony.
Yeah, she sure does.
A lot of fun. Got to see a shootout, and you can bet there's going to be plenty more. The handshake, and well done, Skyler HESS. Well, for Tony Robles, I'm Jim White. Hope you enjoyed the action. Again, plenty more 10-ball coming your way from San Juan. You won't want to miss it, folks.